Hi, hello, and welcome back. Today we're gonna do something a bit different. So this is not gonna be a rankings video. This is gonna be a short video where I'm gonna review three albums by three similar artists that released their new albums in the last couple of days. And those artists and those albums are The Mandrake Project by Bruce Dickinson, um, Circle of Stone by Blaze Bayley, and Judas Priest Invincible Shield. So I thought it would be interesting for me to listen to all of these albums, to review them, and compare them to each other and see which album will rule them all, which album is the best of the best. And I'm gonna start off with the first album I heard in the last couple of days, and that's Bruce Dickinson's The Mandrake Project. And what can I say? This is his seventh studio album and another collaboration with Roy Z. It was 19 years ago that Bruce released his, up to this point, his final studio album, The Tyranny of Souls, which I really loved. And I was hoping all of these years that he's gonna release a new album. And there were hints that he's working on a solo album over the years. I mean, especially when you look that uh, they actually used his song for Book of Souls, If Eternity Should Fail. That song was intended for Bruce's solo album, and of course, that song found its way on this latest Bruce release, and with a bit different lyrics and different arrangements, and in general, it's almost identical song with some slight changes to it. And what can I say? This album, I expected a lot, and that maybe was my fault because we were all waiting for so long for him to release a new album, and I expected something great, and I was kind of disappointed, to be honest with you. And when I first heard the single, the first one, Afterglow of Ragnarok, I thought, well, okay, this song is cool and all. I didn't like, and I still don't like the pre-chorus on that song. I don't like how Bruce sounds while singing it. I mean, he has some problems. I mean, he's 65 years old, and he had cancer as well, so he cannot sing on the level he sang before, and that's completely understandable. But still, he sounds really good on this album, except some of the parts and some of the songs where he strains his voice so much, especially on Afterglow of Ragnarok, that pre-chorus. I don't like that part at all. The chorus is great, and the song overall is pretty solid. There are a couple of songs here that I thought to be pretty basic and uninspired, and this whole album feels, I don't know, it is so-so. I expected much more, and I was disappointed. So, Afterglow of Ragnarok, solid opener, nice way to kick off this record. Rain on the Graves, on the other hand, this is the second single from this record, and I don't like this song at all. I think it is pretty uninspired and pretty lame, pretty basic with that simple riff. The way he sings those verses is also not interesting at all. The chorus is boring and it's like basically repeating Rain on the Graves over and over again. The only good part on this song is the solo by Roy Z. It's a really good solo, but everything else not that good. And to be honest with you, the this whole album, all of these songs, almost all of them could be shorter. There are a bunch of long songs here that are long for no apparent reason. There is one song here that is a longer song that is actually pretty good, and it's maybe my favorite on the record. That is Shadow of the Gods. That song is 7 minutes long, but I think it's really interesting, especially around 4 minute mark when the break happens and it becomes much more heavier. And yeah, I find that song really interesting, and I'm not sure, but I think that that song was written a long time ago, and really good song. Sonata, Immortal Beloved, the closing track. Has nice atmosphere to it, and it kind of looks like it's going somewhere, but unfortunately it doesn't. It just stayed the same throughout its 10-minute uh, runtime, which is unacceptable. I mean, yes, I don't hate it, but it there should be something more to it. There's not enough change or variety happening on that song. It's, just going and going and going, but nothing ever happens. So yeah, that's the closing track that I'm not a big fan of. On the other hand, there are songs that I really like. For example, Fingers in the Wounds, I thought was great. I mean, it's 3.5 minute long, perfect runtime. There are a bunch synth action happening, great chorus, love it. Eternity Has Failed. That is, of course, the same song as If Eternity Should Fail from Book of Souls, but Bruce reworked a couple of lyrics there and changed. I added something more to it, and to be honest, I prefer this version over the Book of Souls version because there are different things happening, especially towards the end of the song. Where those backing vocals come in, and it adds so much atmosphere to it, and the overall vibe, the way he sings it is great. I love it. Um, then we have Mistress of Mercy. Mistress of Mercy, as soon as I heard that intro riff, my thoughts were, well, this sounds almost exactly like the opening track from Accident of Birth, Freak. It is a fun song, but I cannot stop thinking about Freak when I heard this one. When I hear this one, because it's almost the same, the way he sings the verses as well. Overall, not a bad song. Then we have Face in the Mirror. Face in the Mirror is a simple acoustic song that I don't mind at all. I know I looked a couple of reviews and people hated it. And to be honest, this song is better than some of the others here. And yes, it's simple. It's not as good as Navigate the Seas of the Sun from Tyranny of Souls, but still, it's a pleasant little acoustic number. Uh, Resurrection Man, on the other hand, is an interesting song. It starts off with a flamenco guitar, then it changes to a more doomier Black Sabbath-ish riff in the middle. Um, the chorus on it is pretty solid, but overall, like I said, this it's a bit too long. It should be shorter. This album, the production on it is solid. It's better than any Iron Maiden production on any of their recent records, absolutely. But it's not perfect on some of these songs. Uh, Bruce's vocals were not properly mixed. They're kind of buried beneath the guitars, like on in Afterglow of Ragnarok, for example. I mean, it could be better, but it's still not bad. The album as a whole is a bit, like I said, way too long. It's almost an hour. Yeah, sorry, Bruce, but I I was disappointed with this. So I have to give it 3.5 stars. I mean, it's still enjoyable listen, but not as good as, for example, Tyranny of Souls or some of the previous records he done, and I expected much, much more. Next one is Blaze Bailey's Circle of Stone. Blaze Bailey, former singer of a band called Wolfsbane, and of course Iron Maiden, released his new studio album, and he released a bunch of them over the years after leaving Iron Maiden. And let me tell you, I do not hate Blaze. I never hated Blaze. I never hated him even when he was in Iron Maiden. I think X Factor is a decent album. There's some great songs on it. He did his uh, vocal duty really solid. I mean, he had big shoes to fill. I mean, he's no Bruce, but he has different vocal style, which is I don't mind his voice at all. Maybe he wasn't a perfect fit for Iron Maiden, but let's be honest, the songwriting on those two albums wasn't that good, especially on Virtual 11, and that's have nothing to do with Blaze himself. He did best he could, but after he left Iron Maiden, he released bunch of albums, especially the first run of albums in 2000s were pretty good in my opinion. Silicon Messiah, etc. And this album, I was kind of skeptical because I heard a couple of his previous records and I wasn't a big fan of them. This one is a bit better. This is a semi-concept record. First half being a couple of songs that are out of that concept, they're on their own thing. But after, from the Call of the Ancestors up to Until We Meet Again, it is part of a concept which, to be honest, I'm not sure what's happening because the lyrics are not that memorable or interesting. Some of them are even cringy, like the opening track, Mind Reader. Uh, I don't know. I don't like it. I mean, the song itself is fine, but the lyrics are kind of chilly. Chilly. I don't like them. Anyway, my biggest problem with this record, and let me tell you, the guitar work and is pretty good. The playing, how the band plays, is really good. Some of the songs here have nice variety to them. There are a bunch of nice instrumental passages, some nice riffs, nice hooks. But there is something that is a theme on this record, and that is that effect that they've been using on Blaze's voice on some of these songs, actually most of them, that is really annoying. That sounds like something robotic, almost out of tune, that I really hate, and it ruins a bunch of these songs that could be much better without it. And I'm not sure why they've used that effect. Uh, just from the get-go on Mind Reader, we have that effect. I hate it. I mean, unnecessary. Also, The Year Beyond This Year as well, and a bunch other songs. Tears in the Rain, actually, Tears in Rain is maybe the best song on this record. I really like that one, and I really like the last closing track. It's acoustic number with some female guest singer as well on it. It's a pretty nice way to close this record. Uh, if I would compare this to Bruce's album, I think it is close. It could be even better without those production choices. It could be even better than Bruce's album, but for now, it's only 3 stars. I mean, when I said only, in my book, 3 stars, it's good. It's not bad, but overall, not that impressed. So yes, 3 stars for Blaze Bayley, Circle of Stone. And now we have one more left. And we have one more record to go. And this is the one I heard today, and I heard a bunch of times already. This is Invincible Shield by Judas Priest. And let me tell you, I'm impressed. I'm impressed how they managed to put out this record, this high quality record, this late in their careers. I mean, they're old guys already. Rob is like 72 and he sounds freaking amazing. Freaking amazing throughout this record. The production is also really good. It was produced by Andy Sneap. I didn't like his work with Megadeth. I believe he produced some United Abominations. I didn't like the production back then, but I think he got much better over the years. And the last two albums, so Firepower and Invincible Shield, are both produced by him, and I think he did a great job, especially on this one. I really like how everything is crisp, it's loud, the drums are chef's kiss. I love them. Travis Scott played amazingly here. Everyone actually sounds amazing here. And when I heard the first single, Panic Attack, I was like, this is great. This is amazing. Great song. Then we get Trial by Fire as well, a second single. I was like, whoa, it's keep getting better and better. Then I heard Crown of Horns, and then I got concerned a bit because that song is just bad. I don't like that song. It is way cringy, and I don't mind Judas doing any ballads or slower songs. Um, they've done them before, and they've done great job. But this time around, this song is I. It's the only skippable song for me on this record. And I was kind of discussing with someone on YouTube. I put a comment on some of the review from this record stating that Crown of Horns is kind of bad and uninspired and lame, a little bit cringy. And of course, I got angry commenters saying that I'm insane, that I don't like, that I hate that song only because it is a slower song and that I cannot only play fast songs. Well, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, let me tell you, dude, this song is just bad. I don't like the chorus, I don't like the verses. There's nothing interesting happening in it, and that's my main reason why I don't like that song, not because it's slow or whatever. Yeah, so that's the only song I don't like from this record. Everything else is almost perfect. Like I said, Panic Attack is really heavy, fast song. Rob sounds amazing on it. I mean, I'm still not sure how he manages to sound this good, and because he's 72 years old and he sounds amazing. He sounded amazing even on Firepower, and let me tell you, I believe this album is better than Firepower. It is much more cohesive listen. Firepower was a bit longer and kind of bloated on in the middle. Then we have Serpent and the King, another fast, almost speed metal riff, and he like sings almost identical, like something out of from Painkiller. Then we have the title track, and this could be maybe my favorite song because it is so reminiscent of the Defenders of the Faith. Great song. It's 6 minutes, but it's interesting. And this is how you do if you want to make a song that is a heavy metal song that is over 3 4 minutes long. You do it like this because it's interesting. There's a bunch of things happening. Great soloing. Then we have Devil in Disguise, another great song, which is more groovier with a great chorus. It's a slower song, but it's really captivating. Gates of Hell is different because it doesn't sound like Invincible Shield or Panic Attack or Serpent and the King. It is much more melodic, uh, and the chorus is really catchy. Almost, maybe sorry to say this, but kind of a little bit reminds me of a Ghost song. Just that chorus because it's really catchy and different for them. Then, of course, we have Crown of Horns that I mentioned. And then we get, after Crown of Horns, which is the only dud here, we get back on track with As God Is My Witness. Sons of Thunder is a short, fast-paced tune with a catchy, arena rock chorus. And in short, I can only say this album is the best album they've done since Painkiller. It is better, in my opinion at least, than Firepower because it's much more cohesive. Listen, 11 songs, almost all great except the one that I mentioned. The songwriting here is really good. Richie Faulkner did amazing job on guitar. Scott Travis as well on drums. Rob sounded amazing. There are a bunch of great guitar passages, great riffs. It is really fast. It is furious. Great solos as well. Great dynamics. And this album easily is 4.5 star record and by far the best of the three I reviewed. Uh, and if I would rank them, I will definitely put Judas Priest Invincible Shield at number one, so 4.5 stars. Number two, it will be Bruce Dickinson, The Mandrake Project, 3.5 stars. And last spot to Blaze Bailey, Circle of Stone, at 3 stars. So, like I said, I'm really impressed with Judas Priest, and this might be a little short. I usually like to talk a bit more about the albums, but it is, you know, it is what it is. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this, and we'll see you in the next one. And like I said on my previous video, the new video I'm gonna do will be with some guests and I'm gonna, spoil the surprise. It is gonna be Bruce Dickinson. So we're gonna talk about his solo work, and we're gonna review, rank all of these albums. And yes, I kind of spoiled a bit with the Mandrake project, but we have to place that album somewhere in his discography, and you will hear that soon enough. So thank you again. Please do like, share, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz. And see you in the next one.